It's time to bring out the big guns. G'day guys, Matt from HAL Heavy Duty. If you like heavy machining, you're going to love today's video. We're sticking in 1/2 ton of steel into both the Hulk, which is our big green mega bore, and then into the CNC to make the drive nose cone for a pilot bit to go into our 3-meter MEGADRILL that's currently being constructed. We're a machine shop up in central Queensland. We specialise in the drilling industry. We're currently building a drill that is capable of drilling a 3-meter hole 250 meters deep. The whole project is wild, and if you subscribe to the channel, you're going to see as that unfolds. I've actually got a video titled The MEGADRILL Project. You can go and check out what it's all about. But for today, we're throwing in the largest chunk of steel into the CNC using 3 shop-made tools, a 110mm drill, our favourite little boring bar Kong for comparison, because then we're going to unleash the beast. It's the largest boring bar. You're actually going to see us build it in this video. It's 95mm in diameter, it's nearly 1 meter long, and it weighs about 50 kilos because we've got to bore out and do some serious metal removal on this part. So you guys are going to be up for some fun today. So a little backstory to our biggest boring bar. The previous in the shop was one we called Godzilla. It was just under 800mm long, 80mm in diameter with a Kennametal KM80 head on it, and we were fully ready to go with this. It was all machined up, ready to be fitted into the cross slide holder, and then it got stuck when we were trying to fit it. And we tried everything to rescue this. It had been scored terribly when we used the hydraulic press after failing every other method to pull it out, and the damage was just severe. And even after applying nickel coat and machining it down, we just realized we would never get it back to being rigid enough, and we made the decision that off with his head, we were going to start again with a bigger, badder bar. So bye Godzilla, see you buddy. So starting from scratch and doing some calculations, we realized the biggest we could go is 95mm just. So we wrote a program to match the KM80 head to machine one end of the new bar, and we'll then be able to weld on the KM80 head and plumb it in. Now that the KM80 head has been tacked on by our fab shop, we're going to now mill a slot along the inside where the actual cutter is so that we get some clearance, and we're also going to machine some flats on the shank to make sure that it'll slide in nicely, and then we can use our grub screws to secure it in so that it doesn't move. And to keep the bar as rigid as possible, we've just drilled through the shank end as far as we possibly can with a high-speed steel long drill bit, and we're now going to plumb along the outside using just some hydraulic fittings and some tube that will then mill a pocket for. So it's a pretty easy way to do it, and then we'll drill down in the inside, get it TIG welded and then silver soldered in, and we'll be laughing. We'll mill that off so that they're nice and flat and very low profile, and then it's time to weld it all up and test it. Took us a week to figure out what to call this thing. We're thinking Mecha Godzilla, in keeping with the theme of its namesake from the head that it stole. But what happened is everyone in the shop that kept coming and having a look would take one peek at this bar and just go, that thing is a beast. And it just kind of stuck. So it's the beast. Do it. Yep. We've just thrown it in the Hulk to give it a final polish, but we do not want this one getting stuck. So this is the billet that led to it all. It measures 700 mil long, it weighs about 500 kilos, and there's just no way I was going to be able to machine it with the tools that we have. So we're taking it via forklift to our Spanish megabore, the Hulk, where we're going to face it, turn it down and center drill it, and then we're going to take it to the CNC. Off to the CNC. That chuck is a 500 mil diameter chuck that weighs 189 kilos. The billet's half a ton, so we're going to face it, turn it down, and off we go. Now that we've got it faced, center drilled and turned down, we're going to put the cross slide tool holder in and set up our Kraken drill. So this thing is a shop made. We didn't make it, it actually came when we bought our small lathe. This thing is wild. I don't know how well it's going to work, I've never run it before, but we're going to give it one red hot crack. So I called the guys that designed this and asked them how they run it. And so they used a 3 mil deep pectoral cycle because the lathe is limited by Z-axis force. So that's what we're going to do. They said it worked pretty well the way they did it. We're about to find out. It actually ran relatively well. I wish I had more Z-axis power so that we could get it to chip, but all things considered, it got the hole dug. Now we're going to send in Kong doing 5mm cuts. He's hanging out 200mm. Let's do it. That came up beautiful. We did send in a little grooving tool to get two little quad ring grooves in there. And now we're going to flip this billet over and drill in 500mm. We'll reface it off first. We're going to be drilling in 500mm, and then we're going to take the beast in 450 deep. Bloody hell. We're going to do a mid-run swarf brake, but I'm also checking alignment here because you can hear that it knocks slightly as it goes in. It's not ideal. It's probably because it's hanging out so far, the bar may be slightly dipping. There's not much I can do about it now, but I'm somewhat suspicious that being a shop-made tool, it may also be rubbing on the bottom there. So I'm going to give it a little tickle with the grinder and then give it a coat of paint just so that I can see if it's rubbing there, it'll be very obvious. But we'll carry on regardless. We've got to get through this, and I'm really concerned about that high-speed steel nose. I just don't like it. Well, that's not great. I was a little concerned due to the length of the high-speed steel nose that this may actually be a possibility. It's unfortunately happened. I'm going to go through the back of the lathe and make a tool and just knock that back out, and then we'll figure out what to do. They don't call us dodgy for nothing. Now, that is wild.
You might want to keep this thing for a while, just in case you get stuck again.
Shut up. Well, I'm just going to send it. We've only got 60 mil to go. I'm going to increase, because we don't have that high-speed steel, we can increase the Z-axis load and try and get rid of some of the chatter. Once chatter starts, it's difficult to get rid of. That little nose piece out of bronze will locate it, and we're just going to go for it. Send it. Buckle up. I'm not even going to lie to you. That was extremely stressful. I did not enjoy doing that, but we're through. I'm retiring the Kraken and I'm going to insist we get a proper HTS drill. That sucks. I just had to pretty much plow my way through the last 75 mil with a golden nose. Oh, that's up there with the least enjoyable I've had to do yet. So yeah, we're going to get a HTS or a, I don't know, recommend me something. Because I've got to do a bigger one. That's only 635. The next one's 1.2. I'm not using that on a 1.2 part. Anyway, it'll be fine for the little lathe. It'll be fine to do random jobs and soft stuff, but not that. Believe it or not, it didn't even chip an insert. This thing is pretty badass, but I don't want to run it ever again. No thank you. Because the nose got, the drill that stuck out is what got stuck. But, well, you can't see it, but we're through. Oh, this is what I've been waiting for. It's time to unleash the beast. Let's get this bad boy in. We're going to start with 4mm cuts, and then the goal is to get to 5mm so that we can really start hogging out material, because we've got a lot to get rid of. We're going in 450mm deep. That's 1.5 feet. So to get in that hole, we have to take a 3mm cut minimum. So we're going to do 4. Like, it won't go in without that because of the cutter tip. So we're going to get a 4mm cut going, see how the clearances look, and then once I'm happy with it, we'll go for it.
Not bad for a roughing pass, so we've got one final finishing pass to go. You'll notice that the long swarf there, we actually got to chip off in the end by slowing the feed down, so it was chipping really nicely at the end. Anyway, finishing pass now, let's see how we go. Unexpected. Despite coming out with the mother of all bird nests, the finish is bloody excellent, and I'm super happy with that bar. Zero vibration and just serious metal monster. So away it goes. I'm sad to put it back, to be honest with you, but we've got to just finish this little part off now. I'm going to take one final finishing pass, pull it out of the lathe, and then I'll show you exactly where it gets welded into the big drill bit. And yeah, we have safety blocks. So drilled a few holes. The Boilermakers have welded on the flange where the actual drive pilot bit will get bolted into, and we're just going to reface it off to make sure it's true, because it will have warped a little bit on that bottom face once welded, and then they're going to weld it in. Whip out our extra big V blocks that we got the idea from Curtis from Cutting Edge Engineering, drill one final hole, and then off she goes.
Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to get the job done. Anyway, that's all in. They've got it welded in. That is a pilot drill holder. Just think about that for a sec. Most pilot drills are like little things. It's going to be like a 20-inch pilot drill. Crazy. Guys, we're about to hit the 10,000 subscriber mark, and I just want to thank every single one of you who has subscribed, who watches these videos. It's so humbling. We are just a little machine shop up in central Queensland. I started posting these videos because I think we do some pretty cool work, and I just wanted to be able to share it. There's nothing really more to it, and it's been a wild experience. So thank you all, really appreciate it. And to celebrate for next week, our favorite little boring bar Kong is getting one hell of an upgrade. Anyway, I'll see you in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one.